Boss battles are the pinnacle of a game's climax, taking your knowledge, skills, and preparedness and testing them in one big spectacular battle. Whether that be fighting a god, or a dragon, or even an army, all is on the line. And what better way to amp up your emotion than a backtrack for your legendary battle? Music and sounds are what holds most visual media together. Even back in the day where there was just black and white films with no dialogue, there was still music and some sound effects playing, otherwise it would just feel awkward just sitting in a room with people in silence. So, when video games came along, it just had to be filled with audio that matches with the scene, otherwise it'll just feel weird. There is a caveat with this with there being handheld games like mobile or DS, but even then the studios that work on those systems always put music and sound effects just when you're curious to what they have. There'll be something there and you might hear a hidden gem of a song that you'll get jamming to.
알쏭달쏭해. 뭐가 나올지 모르겠어.
But as always with games, when there comes a point when you have to fight a special boss, the composer always goes out with their writing. Whether the fight tone is anger, sad, redemption, they always try to capture that through the music, and when you're strategizing or playing out of your mind, you'll be hearing music to remind you what you're fighting for and what this fight means. I picked 4 fights that really stuck out with my mind throughout the years due to them just being nothing short than a spectacle, so spoilers for these games on the screen. But the main reason why I want to talk about these are for, well, the song. Each fight holds a different meaning, and for that the music stands out for each fight. So strap in and let me tell you a tale as old as 2006. Yakuza 2 Kiwami being a remaster from the old counterpart was required not only to give it a much needed glow up, but also content to the game that added new tracks due to licensing. The story is still the deep crime drama as it'll ever be. Won't go into too much of the story, but to put it on the table, there's a man who you've assumed to be the typical ruthless Yakuza, and through the game you've come to learn about stuff happening in the clan, and that man holds almost the same ideals as Kiryu and the man worthy of the dragon on his back. So when the last fight is presumed over with Kiryu and Ryuji bleeding out, they decided to fight, and the song that plays is... oh boy. Emotions through fists is what can only be described by how this fight goes. The strings that are being played just shows how much weight and tiredness these guys are feeling. Seeing these two people beating each other to an even more bloody pulp just for what? They won. They both destroyed the people who were behind everything. The players will ask, why? Why are they fighting? They're already bleeding to death and already just fought a bunch of people to achieve their goals. Why can't they just leave and work together? And that is a valid question, with one simple answer. Just look at their backs. They're both dragons. No two dragons can live in the same territory with harmony. There can only be one true dragon among them, and because of that, they must fight. While I do like this version, I also have to give a listen to the original one from 2008. While Kiwami's version portrays sadness in that very well, the 2008 one goes more pain and confusion, especially in the beginning with the guitar wails and the minimal choices of instruments. While the series may be big and intimidating to get into, I always highly recommend this series to anyone for almost anything. Sure, most of what is shown to the outside audience is the funny haha memes, the Dame Dane guy, or the weird side quests that you do, but that's like almost 10% of the game. The other 90% is just insane storytelling in a good way. From the gameplay to the character writing, this series has got it all. So while this fight song portrays what's happening in the fight, sometimes the composer leans into the portrayal of the character rather than what's happening. Kirby has been weird for me. My first exposure to him was via commercials, then watching Right Back At Ya, and then maining him in Smash. My first time playing any game of his was Triple Deluxe, and it was pretty fun. From its environmental storytelling, the power-ups and levels made it all quite an enjoyable experience. Reaching the final boss will always be a favorite moment I'll always look back on. Close to midnight, feeling the night breeze around me, going through the final area and reaching close to that final boss and then fighting it. Lights in my room were off, waiting to see what will happen next, and then... This song is just beautiful. The boss has forsaken everything to achieve beauty, and it just shows in the song. Kirby music has always so many bops, but this one hits different. From the sound font they use. For the fight, you just had to be there when this song came out. But don't worry, you can still experience it by the many covers that exist out there. It's insane how many covers of this song exist out there. Like, you do expect King Dedede's song to be at like the top, but this one just takes the cake due to the sheer beauty. Here's a few right now. Kind of just goes without saying, but with many games and depending on its popularity, they tend to get remixes, covers, mashups, you name it, and they'll pop up anywhere, and hey, it may even be better than the original. But for the next example, sometimes the original is king. Look, everyone knows Pokemon. It's the sensation that sweeps the world. From the main games to its spin-off to even the mobile games. Pokemon has a hold on everyone and everything. Heck, even my cat. Her favorite toy is a Spheal plush. So you might expect me to go on this tangent on Cynthia's song, showing the menace before the fight, or Victory Lies Before You from Black and White 2, giving the player the feeling of reaching the finish line in the race. Or maybe with recent titles like Sword and Shield with the Eternatus fight, or Zero Lab fight in Scarlet and Violet. While they are all good tracks and a nice topper for what they have to do, with it being a nice spectacle and all I'm gonna say is, it doesn't impact as hard as the Pokemon Mystery Dungeons Explorers Disguise Dialga fight to the finish does, and for good reason. While the other Mystery Dungeon game had the same stakes at the time with also world-ending events, this one was just different with how the story was written. While the older Red and Blue team did have its epic proportions alongside its lightheartedness as well, Sky, yes, it does have its silly moments and its phenomenally silly character interactions. You also get the mystery of time stopping in the areas, why your character receives visions from the past and the future. You also get to see your partner grow as a character and even side characters grow as well. So to put everything on the line, climbing the temporal tower, reaching the top to stop a corrupted time god and restore time to save the world from an eternal pause, and you hear this? This song just goes. Hell, this is the most story-driven Pokemon game, and this came out in 2009, 2 years before Black and White, which was considered the most story-driven game at the time, with a story about ideals. While there are covers out there that do make it orchestrated, remix it, swing it, or even make it a bossa nova beat, and all of them are pretty good, with this song also being a good exercise to learn composing with, like, holy hell, just listen to these. There's something about the original that no cover can capture, and the weird thing is, I can't put my finger on why that is. Maybe it's just the 9-year-old me unwilling to let go of this boss fight. What about another game series that has received little to no attention but doesn't stop at how far it goes? Ace Combat is a very funny game. You have to be in the know to know how weird and great this game is. You may have seen the memes with the mashups or the YouTubers making videos on it, but what if I told you that this game got bumped into relevancy due to one thing? You may have heard of Zero, or even Daredevil, and great tracks with a phenomenal boss fight in their own respective games. Ace Combat games have always had great music, but none of those tracks weren't even talked about until this one small little track that was a spin-off from the main series, while also holding importance. The final mission of Infinity goes as fly around and destroy the enemies and base troops. This is the last push to assure victory for everyone. So you go out and do your thing known as the Grim Reaper, and the sky is taking care of business as usual. All is going well, enemies is being pushed back, destroyed most of the things, and then wham!
wiped out. What happened? Give me a damage report. Do you copy? All arrow blades, report.
Meteor after meteor falls through the sky, being reminded of an old disaster. You can't fight in this. Hell, no one can. Your allies are being pummeled and getting destroyed. And retreating will give enough time for the enemies to regroup and get stronger than before. With morale low, everyone beaten, low on resources, and confusion in the air, it seems like the only option for our captain is...
All units, we're continuing with the operation. We can't have it end like this. Operation Bunker Shot is still underway. All units, continue the operation. You have the strength to win this. Copy.
Edge, roger. Reach back units. Can you hear that?
We got nothing to be afraid of. Not with the Grim Reaper haunting the skies.
You said it. On the ground and in the air. We can do this!
Let's go! Enemy batteries found on the face of the mountains. Destroy them before they block our ground troops' progress.
Reaper, we'll be advancing in tandem with your attack.
Hostile fighters are also entering your airspace. Commence tandem ground and airstrike.
I got your six, people. Just keep going forward.
Go, go, go!
Gun battery silenced. Good work, huh? Enemy on the retreat. Forward! Forward! Thanks for that support.
This song that's a remix of 4 pretty much saved this franchise from irrelevancy. People just kept on getting recommended this song via YouTube, and, well, that led to 0, which is leading to playing Ace Combat 7, and then the rabbit hole of other people knowing it, and by God. As of now, the one upload by Ace Combat fan is sitting at 2.6 million. I remember when this only had like 100k. Wow, the time treats us well. This is one of the few game franchises that I played growing up, alongside being one of the few reasons why I started pursuing audio. And seeing it finally get the recognition due to the song about hope, that's just ironic storytelling right there. It's like what the lyric says. I have so far to go, only heaven knows. Cause we're making out, no go with this one, boys! Woo! Boss battles are what I've always looked forward to in every single video game I play. Everything you have learned up to this point is now being tested, and the only thing that is achieving the final win is you, yourself. Because of that, I always try and take everything that the game has shown me, with its visuals, its music, its designs, and seeing how all of those factors are being shown in its finale. While some may falter at the end, others exceed by paying off everything that the team has learned while developing their game and showing the payoff of what they made. In an industry with tight deadlines and sometimes required self-crunch time, I try my best to see what the game is putting out as a whole and tell myself, well, let's see what they put into this, and try my best to enjoy every aspect of the game till the very end. Whether it's a platformer, a Metroidvania, an RPG, or even a fishing game, I try my best to look at everything, and when I get at the end, see what they want me to experience. Are there any games that had an impact on you when facing off against a final boss or any boss? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, this has been Lounge waiting at the Slam Station, and I'll see you at the next stop.
Will he see this video? If you do meet him, give him a message for me. Yo, buddy. Still alive? And thanks, friend. See you again.